First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh Ba'Shem and Habashai, Ba'Shem Rakak Padash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Karat Zabad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled, The MOTB RFID chip is not sin. Okay, so I don't know if you're aware, if you follow some of these other camps, I would tell you just to follow Great Millstone and their affiliates because they have 100% truth. And what I would say about that is these other camps, you have Watchmen for Israel and IUIC who are claiming that the mark of the beast is sin. And it's not sin. It's an actual thing that's going to be inserted inside your skin, inside your hand or your forehead. It's not sin. It clearly says that in Revelation 13 and verse 16, which we'll read in a minute here. But it's an actual mark that goes inside of you. And common sense will tell you that it's not sin, because if it was sin, if you read, throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament, and even now in our time, all of us have sinned. All of us continue to sin, because you can't keep every law, statute, and commandment as a Hebrew Israelite. It's impossible to keep all 613 laws, statutes, and commandments. So we do the ones that we can keep, particularly the first 10 commandments. We do our best to keep those commandments and rehearse the righteous acts. Do the Sabbath, don't commit adultery, don't lie, don't steal, et cetera, et cetera. We do our best to live, in righteousness as the best that we can, to be spiritually minded and not carnal minded. But even so, we can't keep, all the laws, statutes, and commandments. So in effect, we do sin, but Yahweh Shai gave us grace by his sacrifice. So he gave us grace, but that doesn't mean that you just commit iniquity upon iniquity just because Yahweh Shai sacrificed himself for the nation of Israel. You don't take his sacrifice for granted. But that being said, the mark of the beast, okay, the RFID chip, same thing, is not sin. All right? It's not sin. Let's read this Revelation 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, of course, this is the MOTB, the CHIP that they're going to be trying to implement to get everybody, worldwide to take the CHIP. Esau, the Edomites, the elite of the Edomites, okay, so-called white man, the devil walking the planet Earth. He's going to try to force everybody to get this CHIP. He's going to try to eliminate money and try to force everybody to get this chip. So that, they already have the chip already set up. They already have the concentration camp set up, the FEMA camps, the torture devices, the gas chambers, the guillotines. For those of us that aren't going to take this, and I say those of us that aren't going to take it, and I say the hope for elect, because we know what's coming down the pipeline. We know that if you take the CHIP, you're going to be destroyed. Okay, so it's not sin. Now, it's a sin to get it, to take the mark of the beast. Of course, it's a sin to take the mark of the beast, but it's not sin in itself, like some of these wacky groups are talking about. All right, so let's read on. Revelation 13 and 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Now, the mark is, of course, the RFID chip, the radio frequency identification device, which you're going to try to force on the whole world, or the name of the beast, which is the Roman Empire, the modern Roman Empire, which is Babylon, America, the European Union, and NATO, or the number of his name. The number is the numerical value of the barcode, the universal product code. Okay, that's what that means when it says the number of his name. It's just the value of the numerical barcode of the chip. Now, you already have the numerical barcode when you scan something at the supermarket, you have the credit card, the debit card, and the scanning machines. That's already, been set up, essentially. But the next step is to get you to put the CHIP in your hand or your forehead. Now, if it was sin, then that means that, when they bring the mark of the beast about, that means that you're going to have to do a sin before you're going to have to sin to buy or sell. So if you want to buy or sell something, say you want to buy something, you're going to go and say, well, you know what, let me go ahead and commit adultery. Okay. If the mark of the beast is sin, then you're going to have to sin. Okay. Let me go ahead and steal something so I can eat, so I can buy something or sell something. Okay. Let me go ahead and sleep with this man right here. Okay. Let me go ahead and sin so I can eat, have me some, I can get me a hamburger, so to speak, so I can live. So common sense ought to tell you that it's not sin. It's a sin, but it's not sin in itself. So if the Holy Spirit's working with you, then you should be able to see through this like nothing. Okay. But many of our people are being led by some of these other camps. That's why I say just deal with Great Millstone, with the true doctrine of Yahweh Shai and Paul and the apostles. Okay. So let's get a definition of what the mark is. Let's go into interlinear, and this will prove my point. And it's pretty much common sense. And that's why Great Millstone and their affiliates have taught us to look up definitions and words and, really get into the words and really find out the true meaning. Let's see here. Okay, this is the Greek translation of the word mark.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
So that's saying charagma, okay? So that's the Greek translation of the word mark. Charagma. So what does it say here? A stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. That goes off right there because there isn't just one Antichrist. There are many Antichrists or anti-messiahs. But the part that's right is the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand, okay? The mark branded upon horses, a thing carved. All right, let's go down further. Mark, graven. It says here, look, a scratch or etching. Okay, so when they put the mark of the beast in the people that take it, they're going to use a needle type device to insert the small chip in your hand or your forehead, and the chip is almost about the size of a grain of rice. So they're going to use a needle to implant that. So they're going to have to scratch your skin. And as you know, in the Old Testament, one of the laws, statutes, and commandments is thou shalt not break thy skin. You're not supposed to break your skin. You're not supposed to get tattoos. As men, we're not supposed to get razor sharp, lineups with the razor. You're not supposed to be using a razor because you're not supposed to break your skin. Okay, that's one of the laws, statutes, and the commandments. So if you do get this mark of the beast, okay, the CHIP, if you get this, okay, you're going to break your skin. So that in itself is a sin, but the mark of the beast is not sin, okay? All right? It's not sin in itself, okay? That's what I want to say. It's a sin, but the mark of the beast is not sin. So the mark of the beast is the actual CHIP. It's an actual thing that's going to be inserted into you. So I just wanted to make that very clear to you so you won't be misled by these false prophets out here. So on that note, I hope this lesson was edifying to you. And I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, Shalom.